Hello students. This video is the last and final video of the lecture series on the third chapter, The Wonder That Was India. And in this video, we are doing the section of composition given in your chapter, which includes paragraph writing as well as informal letter writing. So let's begin with paragraph writing. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is a piece of writing that deals with only one particular idea. Means in a given topic, you have to deal only with one aspect of that topic, only take that one particular aspect and present that particular idea in your paragraph. It's usually smaller in size. It can be at starting from 5 sentences to half a page or 1 page. Usually the word limit is given in your question, so you have to adhere to that word limit. There are certain features that you have to keep in mind while writing a paragraph. So what are these features? Let's go through them. So the first feature that you have is unity. The paragraph should start with the main idea, and the rest of the paragraph should be unified around it. That means you have to introduce the topic that you are taking for paragraph writing and deal with that idea or that topic entirely throughout the paragraph. You should start with introducing the main idea in the introductory or the topic sentence and follow it with the supporting sentences that support that main idea. The next feature is order. The main idea that is presented in the introductory sentence should be followed and supported by the supporting sentences that come after it. And there should be a perfect order of these sentences. You cannot write some kind of a supporting sentence in the beginning and then present the main idea later. You have to present the main idea first and then follow it by the supporting sentences. The third point is coherence. It has to have a clear meaning. Every sentence should connect and link to each other. The meaning should glide smoothly to the other. It should progress from the main idea of the introductory sentence to the next supporting sentences and then go sequentially towards the conclusion. The fourth point is completeness. The entire paragraph should present a complete idea. It should be well developed. The idea that you present in the first sentence should be developed with the support of the supporting sentences, and it should give a complete meaning. It should give a well developed whole complete meaning by the end of the paragraph, and that comes in the sixth point, that is conclusion. So conclusion is the concluding sentence that will sum up the entire paragraph. It will emphasize and reiterate the main idea that you had started the paragraph with. It will give a proper conclusion to that. So there are various ways you can write a paragraph. You can narrate a story. It can be a narrative kind of a paragraph where you tell some kind of a story or a tale to express your topic. It can be in the form of a description where you give details about a topic and order them in the matter of appearance. It can be a process wherein you give directions as to how to do something. Or it can be a classification form of a paragraph wherein you give various classes related to a particular category or a group. It can be in the form of an illustration also. You can illustrate the main idea presented through various examples. You can explain the main idea through examples that you give in the supporting sentences. So these are the various ways in which you can order your paragraph and write it in that manner. You have to actually explain and expand the main idea, and these are the various ways you can do that. So on the basis of how you write a paragraph or the purpose for which you write a paragraphs have been broadly classified into 4 types. What are they? Narrative, persuasive, descriptive, and expository or explanatory. So it can be a narrative kind of a paragraph wherein you are telling a story. explaining the idea through a story, or it can be a persuasive paragraph where you're using arguments and logic to prove your point and convince the audience of your point. It can be descriptive where you are describing something. Like for instance, Hindu Trinity is one of the topics in your book, or religion and art. So you can describe what it is, give various points in it. So that describes something. You give each and every detail of that topic. Expository means it's a kind of a explanatory kind of a paragraph where you explain the topic, you give various information. So in this way, we have 4 kinds of paragraphs. So whenever you are writing a paragraph, firstly, you have to understand what the topic is, what the main idea of the topic is. You have to take one particular main idea. Like for instance, if there is a paragraph wherein you have to write about the culture of India, there are various aspects of the culture. There are various traditions related to it. So you have to introduce the main topic, the main idea in the first sentence, how, the uniqueness of culture of India or the importance of culture of India. Then you can decide what you want to present in your paragraph. Is it to persuade an audience regarding the importance of culture of India, or you want to describe the various details inherent in Indian culture, or you want to give certain information related to culture of India? That depends on the context of what you want to present. You have to present only one aspect because paragraph is a very short piece of writing compared to the essay, which can include all the aspects in it. So in the chapter, you have a question on paragraph writing where you have 2 topics and you have to write a paragraph in about 100 words. So I have taken up the second topic, that is the influence of Mahatma Gandhi on the West, and I have given an example of how to write the paragraph. This is just for assistance. You can go through the paragraph and take it as a kind of a guideline where you can write the paragraph on your own, because both the topics are from the lesson. You can take the basic idea from the lesson and then build it through various examples or various details. You can find those details from other sources as well. So you can go through this paragraph and then we move on to the next topic of composition. So coming to the next topic, we have informal letter. So letter writing are always in have 2 forms actually. As a matter of fact, saying it can be either a formal letter which you usually use for formal purposes, and an informal letter which you use to communicate with your friends, family, relatives, or acquaintances. So there is a difference between how you write a formal letter and how you write an informal letter. Formal letters, like letters to the principal, like writing to the bank manager or to an editor of a newspaper or publisher, whatever formal business letters you have, they have a very different language from an informal letter. Informal, as the very word shows, it doesn't adhere to any kind of a formality. So you can use language that is very casual, very friendly, although it has to be decent and presentable. You cannot use abusive and slang language in it. You have to use a language depending on whom you're writing to. For instance, if you're writing to someone who is elder to you, your parents, or someone who is an elder brother, or someone you have a lot of respect for, you have to use a language which is full of respect and reverence. When you're writing a letter to a friend or someone younger to you, you can be very casual and use a more friendlier kind of language. So I will be giving you template or a format of how an informal letter should look like. So it should have the sender's address, that is the address of the person writing the letter. That is, your address should be at the right hand top of the page, followed by the date. The Salutation, that is how you address the person to whom you are writing. The main content or the body of the letter, the closing line, and your name and signature should come to the left of the page, and they should start from the margin. They should be flushed with the margin. So that is the format of an informal letter. So what kind of salutations you use? Another thing is that when you're writing the date, you should write the date, that is, for instance, if it's 20 March to 2020, then you have to use 20, right? March in letters, that is MARCH, March, and then 2020. So that is how you write the date. You shouldn't be using 20.03.2020 or a slash. No, that is not to be used. What kind of salutation you are going to use? So it depends on the person to whom you are writing. We don't usually use respected in this salutation. It's always dear. So it can be dear father, dear mother, dear brother. Dear friend, usually we don't use. When we are writing to a friend, we usually use the name. So dear Ashok, dear Ritu, dear Ramesh, Reena, whatever the name of your friend. Coming to the main body of the letter, you have to introduce the letter to an introductory line of the paragraph. You have to introduce yourself, not in a way that you are unfamiliar with the person you're writing, but like asking about the well-being of that person. How are you? Hope you're fine. So these are some of the traditional lines that you use to introduce the letter. Then the main body. After the introductory line, you follow it up with the reason you are writing your letter and expand the points. So why you are writing the letter, and the reason you should be giving, and it should be in a very informal kind of a manner, not like jotting down it on in points. And also ask about the person. It's not always like hope you're fine, you write okay, I want money from you and all those things, and then just conclude it. It's not a formal letter, so it cannot be very small and just relate to the reason for your writing. You have to build it up. You have to, like, you're talking to that person, so you have to ask about the well-being of that person. You can add certain extra points to it, related to other family members, related to the family of a friend. So it has to be very casual. It has to be in a way that you are communicating informally with your friend or your family member. And then you should make the concluding remarks. So in the concluding remarks, so you have to end with sentences like traditionally you can say that I will be waiting for your letter, or I'm looking forward to hear from you soon. So these are some kind of the traditional conclusions that you can use in your letter. And when you're closing the letter, like right before your signature or your name, you will have to use certain closing line. Like a few examples are given here, like yours loving, best wishes. You can use the relationship here, like yours loving brother, yours loving son and daughter, whatever. Or you can simply write love and then your name with lots of love. And if it's someone who is elder and respectful, you can use with regards. So in this way, you come to the closing of the letter. So in this chapter, the question on letter writing is you have to write a letter to your younger brother telling him about what in Indian culture has already perished. So this is again taken from the lesson. And this is an example of how to write the letter. The address is given on the top right page. Sorry, the right hand side top of your page. And then the salutation is Dear Ramesh. You introduce the letter, means you introduce how you're writing the letter, and the asking about the well-being of the person. How are you? I hope you all are doing fine over there. And since this topic is something which you cannot just start telling about what things have perished, you have to build it up. You have to build up the conversation, as to say. So you can say that, as you might remember, it means that you are having a conversation about culture, and you come to this point as some of the things that were useless in the culture have perished. So in this manner, you build up the topic and then give the examples or the expand that particular conversation, what's been asked in the question, and then end it by using some concluding remarks like, anyway, I hope I have been able to answer your query. Hope to see you soon. Give my regards to mother and father. And here I have used closing line. 2 closing lines have been used. With love, your affectionate brother, and then your name. So this is just an example of how you can write the letter. You can change the way you can introduce the topic, or change the language that I've used. This is just for your assistance, so that it gives you an idea of how to write the letter, and then you can write on your own. So with this, we come to the end of the video series on chapter 3, The Wonder That Was India. I hope the lectures have been of help to you, and they have helped you to solve the exercises and the grammar portion as well as the composition part. Wish you all the best, and thank you.